hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. It sure is frustrating when those uppity peasants start acting all entitled. They start slinging around absolutely vile words like rights, and they shamelessly say the most offensive things. Some of them even go so far as to suggest the government's authority is limited.
Burning the peasants.
That's why I am so proud of our brave heroes in the ATF who had the courage to whimper impotently about how some people are so audacious as to believe they can exercise their rights in the real world. The Washington field office tweeted this important message where they whined, "Take a look into our world. This is a scenario we frequently face when combating violent crime and maintaining public safety. Many people attempt to conceal firearms on their person or belongings, which puts everyone involved at risk."
Are we the baddies?
Now, before I tell you about why this message is a lot more important than it might seem at first glance, you have got to see this utterly savage clapback from defense. Take a look in our world. This is a scenario Americans face when combating violent government agencies and murderous agents. Many agents attempt to step on the necks of free people, which puts everyone involved at risk. Despite their overwhelming numbers, encrypted digital comms, night vision, machine guns you aren't allowed to buy, and infinity tax dollars, the feds are absolutely terrified of you. You could go to prison if you encrypted a radio transmission or got caught carrying the kind of guns they're allowed to carry. They can disregard statute, case law, and the Constitution with impunity because qualified immunity will protect them. They can kill us in the dead of night and cover up the evidence, yet with this overwhelming imbalance of power, they are still afraid of some rando with a Taurus in his drawers. Brothers and sisters, I'm not telling you this to make you angry. I'm telling you because I want you to understand how insanely powerful you are. Let this sink in. The federal government, with its effectively infinite resources, is still terrified of little old you.
Government should be afraid of their people.
But it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors. So let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Vortex.
The proven Crossfire sight is now available in new flavors. Same great, affordable, bomb-proof reflex sight with a 2 MOA reticle and 50,000 hour battery life backed up by the Vortex no questions asked VIP warranty, but now it's available with a tan finish or a green dot.
Years ago, the billionaire-funded civilian disarmament industrial complex started to finally realize that people hate gun control. But rather than mending their ways and giving up their quest to make vulnerable populations even easier to abuse by a government with a monopoly on violence, they decided to just lie about what their purpose really was.
What is my purpose?
So, they all suddenly became gun safety groups. The problem is, none of those Karens could list the 4 rules with a gun to their head, and they have never once sponsored any kind of safety classes. They never cared about safety. Training was just one more thing they could use to gatekeep rights so none of those filthy pores could pick up a gun. After all, they never had a problem with their rich white neighbors owning any guns they want. Remember, a rich man can legally hire a private army and arm them all with machine guns and mortars. Nothing is really truly banned if you have enough money.
Everything in life has a price.
The control freaks just want to place hurdles to keep the masses in their place. Well, it seems they got tired of answering questions about why gun safety groups never taught any gun safety classes because Everytown is finally going to, teach gun safety.
I'm sure we are.
Or at least that's what they claim. We'll see what their classes actually look like, but I think it's reasonable to expect the material will consist mostly of guns are bad, okay? They likely spend a lot of time teaching you to keep the gun unloaded and locked up, separate from the ammo, so that it would be impossible to use if you ever actually needed it, and probably generally convincing you it's just a bad idea all around to have a gun anyway. The District of Columbia is one of the most authoritarian places in the nation in regard to gun rights, but U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro just announced they will not pursue charges against people caught carrying long guns in Washington, D.C., so long as they are registered.
registered or not registered.
I suppose it would be a bridge too far to expect her to just straight up stop being a jackbooted stepper, but I'll take the dub over an L any day, even if it isn't as big of a win as I'd like. Pirro is besties with President Trump, and this move is part of his attempt to appear less hostile to gun rights. And it isn't due to some arcane policy, but because she claims DC's law prohibiting the carrying of long guns is unconstitutional. It is, of course, but although she cites Heller and Bruin, those precedents don't explicitly deny the government the authority to dictate the manner in which people may carry arms. In other words,
let me break it down for you, Chief.
There's a fair chance that DC could defend their unjust law in court. So I think it's kind of a notable thing that Pirro decided to stop enforcing the law without being forced to stop. What do you guys think? When it comes to the devil's lettuce, the federal government is more bipolar than a 45-year-old wino mommy. It's still considered more dangerous than both speed and booger sugar, yet Congress also passed legislation called the Rohrabacher-Farr Amendment, which prohibits the federal government from interfering with medical use. Leave us alone. At the same time, the 1968 Gun Control Act makes it unlawful for anyone to own a gun if they are an unlawful user of or addicted to any controlled substance. And never mind that language would include anyone addicted to a prescribed medication. Jazz cabbage is still a controlled substance at the federal level, regardless of what your state does. But a 3-judge panel on the 11th Circuit just ruled that the 68 GCA violates the Second Amendment in that regard. Now, for those of you worried this means you'll find pot needles all over your local range, calm down. For one thing, this isn't about what people do while handling firearms. We all still agree it's not a great plan to handle firearms if you are intoxicated, regardless of the substance.
First things first, yeah, let's get good drunk!
For another, this ruling is as applied to these specific plaintiffs. That more or less means the feds are still free to arrest people if they have a left-handed cigarette and a gun at the same time. It just helps these plaintiffs. Now, before I give you that moment of zen I think you probably skipped ahead for, it's okay, I still love you. I have to do that thing gun tubers do and remind you the tube of views actively hates you and your rights. They continue to unsubscribe viewers from our Wrongthink, and many viewers have told me they never get any notifications at all. So, if you are already subscribed and you already clicked that bell to receive all notifications, please leave a comment and let me know whether you're actually getting any notifications on this channel, or for that matter, other gun content. While you're at it, please also let us know which gun tubers you think deserve a lot more attention than they're getting. Then drill out the like button's third hole and non-comply the subscribe button. If you think we earned it, of course. And now for your moment of zen.
Oh, High Point, you didn't buy a gun, you bought a cinder block with a trigger. It's not so much concealed carry as it is a cry for help. If duct tape and regret hooked up, their baby would be a High Point. Next! Oh, Taurus, you wanted a Glock, but you also needed gas money. That's okay, it looks like a real gun if you squint and ignore that the parts are rattling in it like a box of Tic Tacs in the dryer. The safety is just the hope that nobody pulls the trigger twice. Oh, Springfield, the gun for people who thinks tactical means extra plastic. 3 safeties, no personality, you can drop it in a box of Legos and never find it again. Oh, Camber, beautiful, expensive, carried by men who probably ironed their jeans and say a lot of things about back in their day when it's not even their day. You spend more time polishing it than shooting it, and you get mad as hell when anybody points that out, like you're gonna go duel them behind the Cracker Barrel.
Hello, friend. Do you like pews and pew-related things? Would you like to help us keep delivering you pure American propaganda at the low price of free? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you.